Hello and welcome to God Talk. Today I'm thinking about a saying by Thomas Aquinas. He lived in the 13th century. Anthony Kenny said he was one of the dozen greatest philosophers of the Western world. And this is the saying: God is not a being, God is being. It sounds a bit abstract, but stick with it. Remember, he was writing in Latin, Deus est ens, God is being. And he was writing in the 13th century, so concepts that made sense at his time might not necessarily make sense to us. So let's try a paraphrase. God is not a being that exists, God is existence itself. Now, there are lots of things that exist in this room. For example, there's a desk and a chair, and there's some books. And outside in the world, I can see a tree and I can see houses, and there are people and animals, and outside beyond the world there are planets and stars. Here they are, all the things that exist. Thomas Aquinas wants to say, look, God is not a being that exists. God is not in this class. God is far greater. God is in a class of his own, maybe without class. God is not a being that exists. God is, how could he put it, existence itself. Let's try another paraphrase. God is not a real being. God is reality. Or God isn't alive, God is life. Now you might suspect a sleight of hand here. Can he really use concepts like life and reality and being? Can he really use those in the way that he wants to? That's a question to follow up. However, there does seem to me some important things about Aquinas' approach that we'd want to keep. So, first of all, it gives us a way to explore God, because God is being, existence, life. If we're trying to understand and explore these concepts, we are exploring God. Secondly, it gives us a way round some of those arguments about God which seem to go round and round in circles. Does God exist, for example? People produce arguments for God existing. Others point to things and say, how can there be a God? Aquinas says, God isn't a being that exists. God is being. And thirdly, our exploration of God sends us back into the world. We don't want a faith that has us escape from the world or even reject the world. We want to be moving into the world to understand it, improve it, and improve ourselves. And by saying God is life or existence, we are directed back to the world. And fourthly, of course, Aquinas wants to emphasize the greatness of God. So God is not a being that exists. God is existence itself. God is not a being. God is being. It's a great phrase. I hope you enjoyed this little look at it, and do subscribe and join us again on God Talk.